Namaste. Welcome to Little Khayal series Season 2, Episode 7. Today's conversation features a very young and bright author, TEDx speaker and musician based out on Pune, India. Let us welcome vocalist and flutist, Shri Mandar Karanjkar ji. Mandar ji, a trained classical vocalist and flutist, is the disciple of Pandit Sat Deshmukh. He has authored The Kabir Way, actionable insights for organizations and individuals, and also co-authored a Marathi novel. He has also co-founded a consulting firm, Seed Shower, aiming to promote classical music in all the sections of the society, irrespective of the socio-economic background. Mandar ji, with his wife Srimati Dakshayani, have started the foundation, an NGO that connects art and people. His personal and professional journeys defy myths about love, freedom, and expression and impact. And guess what? A young student of music from Raipur, India, Ms. Sharanya Aditya, is here today to speak with our guest artist. She is currently a disciple of Guru Srimati Hina Deshpande ji, from whom she learns Hindustani vocal music. Friends, let us now watch this very, very beautiful episode 7 of your favorite Little Khayal series.
जागो मोहन रे सावरी सूरत मोहे मन भावे सावरी सूरत मोहे मन भावे सुंदर लाल
So I started learning Indian classical music when I, 3 years ago, when I was 8. My guru is Srimati Hina Deshpande ji, and with your permission, shall we start today?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Here's my first question. When you were a kid, what did you want to become?
Okay, so that's a very difficult question, because looking at your childhood from at this point is a little difficult. So to be very honest, I really didn't know what I wanted to be when I was of your age. I had certain ideas, that, okay, I want to live a good life. I want to be a good person. I liked certain things, I liked to talking with people, being with people. So I knew all these things, but I didn't know one conclusive answer. Okay, I want to be an engineer or even a musician, for that matter. I didn't know that, but as I started learning music, I realized that I really like singing, and that's what I want to do. So yeah, I discovered it, slowly, I would say.
Yeah, that is very well said by you. Actually, I'm also not sure of what I will become. So maybe I will realize in the future. So let's go towards the next question.
Sure.
Can you tell about your journey so far and share a few memorable moments? So your journey, you had a long journey, I can say. And could you share some memorable moments?
Oh, my father, he was working with the government. So he had a transferable job. So we would move, from one village to a city, maybe from a city to again a different village to a town. And this kept happening. So just to give you how frequently it happened, when I was in 10th standard, I was in my 16th school. So many schools I changed, one after the other. And many times we were living in very small villages, very small towns, and there was no entertainment, like you have malls, you have Netflix now, you have so many things to entertain yourselves, but we hardly had anything in those days. So, music, learning to sing something, learning to play something, these were the only options that you had. And my mother was learning harmonium. Even when, before I was born, she started learning basic harmonium. And, one day they realized that they had gone out for a walk. And when they came home, I was playing the harmonium. So I was not trained, but I could hear, I could observe my mother, and I could just follow her. And then she said, okay, now instead of me, why don't you start learning? So that's how I actually started learning harmonium and then also singing, because they go hand in hand. So that's how my, I would say, musical journey began. I learned from varied teachers because, after 5 months, we would go to some different place. Sometimes after 2 years, we would go to a different place. And I got to learn from, different teachers. Some of them were males, some females, some very old, some very young. And I remember you asked me about some highlights or some landmarks. So when I was, I would say in 6th, 7th standard, we were in a small town called Yavatmal, near Nagpur in central India. And I met a very good music teacher over there. He was in his late 70s. His name was Pandit Purushottam Kaslikar. And he taught me very well, and it was at his guidance, under his guidance, I decided that, okay, music is what I really like. Music is what my passion is, and music is what I want to do.
I read in your website you mentioned about Sant Kabir. Can you tell me how did you develop interest in Sant Kabir's poetry?
Yeah. So, see, when we look around us, there are so many things that we see. There are trees, there are flowers, there are signboards, there are hoardings, advertisements, and we also had magazines. I don't know if now people get magazines at their home, printed magazines. There are some, I guess. So we would have many magazines coming to our house, and I like to go through them. I won't understand them, but I would go through pictures and like that. And that's how in, some magazine I read about Kabir when I was, I think, probably 7 or 8 years old. And sometimes it happens, you get attracted to something. Even if you don't understand what it means, even if you don't understand, what it actually is, but you get pulled towards it. So that's how I got interested in Kabir. So as I grew older, I started reading his dohas. And see, Kabir wrote dohas. A doha is basically 2 lines. Yeah, a chaupai is 4 lines, a doha is 2 lines. So it was very short and some of them very simple. Like I will give you an example, of a doha, like a very, very simple doha. Tinka kabahu na nindiye, jo pavatale hoy. Now what is a tinka? A tinka means something very tiny, very small. So tinka kabahu na nindiye, jo pavatale hoy, kabahu uda aakha na pade, peer gahri hoy, which means that a small piece of wood or dust particle or, a tiny particle, Kabir is saying, don't treat it with, you're so tiny. He says it can get carried away with the wind and it can go in your eye and it can hurt you. So he's giving us a very small example and he's saying that don't judge people, treat everyone fairly. Like you should not do, okay, I won't treat this person fairly because he's not of a particular status. status or, is not love, whatever. He's saying, treat everyone and not humans, even animals, plants, trees, things around you. So such small dohas of Kabir, they inspired me a lot. And that's how I started reading more and more of them.
Wow. Okay. So actually, I also get magazines in my home. So maybe I'll find something someday.
But what do you read now? Like, what do you like to read?
I like to read mostly, some stories about moral stories or fairy tales. And that's like what I like to read. And I also have some books. So I'm going to complete them. I completed almost 2 or so.
Nice.
Okay. So you mentioned Maya in your blog. What is Maya and how do you see it?
Okay. See, Maya, it's a very short word. It means taking something for what it is not. Okay, I'll give you an example. If we are walking on a dark street, there are no lights, sun has just set, and there is a rope lying in the middle of the street. So someone might say, oh, it's a snake. Yeah. And once you are under impression that it's a snake, so many things happen. You get afraid. You run away, right? So many things. Your blood pressure will go up. You will, everything. You will start perspiring. Everything will happen. But actually what it is, it's a rope. Yeah. So this is what Maya is, not understanding what something truly is. Now, this word can be used in many ways, in very simple context or in a very difficult way. What is this world around us? Yeah. Everything is circling around each other, right? The moon is circling around the earth is circling around the sun. What is everything circling around? We don't know, right? So all these things that we don't really know about them, but we create some judgment. And that is what Maya is. So this rope and snake is a very, very simple way of explaining what Maya is.
Wow, sir, it is very well said by you. So I think it was very good. And I also understood what Maya is. So my exams are also coming and I also stopped practicing on my exam times. So did you practice on your exam times and how did you take your time out?
You're saying the music exams?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a couple of things, like when I was a kid, I would practice, I would say 3 hours in the morning. And then in the evening, I would sit at my guru's place, So my class would go on for 1 hour. But after that, he would have very senior students who were doing MA in music or Alankar, Sangeet Alankar who were doing. So I would sit in those classes at the backside. So when I was in school and when I was giving exams, I already knew ragas till like Alankar. So that part was very much sorted, because I really loved singing. Yeah. And one thing, when I was of your age, probably, I learned in government schools because I said my father would transfer from one place to other. And government schools didn't have homework. Yeah, they were like just there. So I'm sure you would have a lot of homework now. Yeah, the pressure in the schools has also increased. In our times, we didn't have that much of pressure in the school. Like even if I didn't go to school for 5 days because I have a music exam, the teachers would not object. But today, even for 1 day, if you have to take off from the school, it's very difficult. So I think this flexibility helped me. And one thing I would like to tell you, after I have not given many exams in music. I did my Madhyama Purna when I was fifth exam at that time when I was in 8th standard. But after that, I didn't give exams. In fact, I stopped learning also till I became an engineer, because my parents said focus on the academics, study, secure yourself, and then you can again start music. So I had a long period where I didn't sing. And after that, when I started again learning, I didn't do exams because I was learning for my joy. I was not learning to get a certificate, for example, or to do a profession in music. So that's why I would say exams wise, I'm a beginner. I'm just 5 exams in music.
Yeah, sir. So that is really cool. So I also found out that you left your corporate job. What motivated you to do that? I was just curious.
Yeah. So see what happens when we grow up. Yeah, like everyone is growing up. I'm not saying like you are growing up. I am also growing up, right? So as we are growing up, we absorb many things. Yeah, and they make layers on us. Like for example, what my parents tell me. My mother might say, "Ki you have to be a doctor," for example. My teacher might say, that, okay, you are a very good person, so you have to be a good person. So we are absorbing all such things, which everyone is telling us. And we become like an onion. What is speciality of an onion?
Onion has a lot of layers.
Correct. So we get lots of layers on us. And we don't really know what is inside all those layers. Right? So we need to take out time to remove all these layers. Don't say they are good, don't say they are bad, but just remove and see what truly I am. Yeah, what I really want to do, what kind of person I am. I can be an angry person also, but what I am, truly understanding that. So I started doing this when I was in engineering. Okay, so when I enrolled in my engineering college, I started this process. So our college had a nice river passing by, and we had a boat club where we could sit alongside the river. We could see the river, and all of that. So I would sit there, and every day I would think about all these questions. Even if I, let us say, become a good engineer, I earn a lot of money. Will I be really happy? All these, little questions I started asking myself. And then I realized that, okay, I want to do something different, but at the same time, I don't want to depend on anyone. Like, I don't want my parents to support me. Yeah, because they supported me till I was 18, 19, 20 years. So beyond that, I should be on my own. So I said, okay, the way is that let me find a job where I get freedom to explore what I really like. So most of the times what happens when you have job offers, you will select a job which pays you more money. That's how generally people go. But I said, no, I am not interested in money. I want to find what I like to do. So I asked my boss, in the interview, I like to sing. So if there is a concert and if I don't come to office, would you allow that? So my boss said, yeah, we are fine with it. So I said, okay, then this is the company I want to work with. So as I was working, I got a lot of freedom to really see, can I really sing well? We all feel, I sing very nice. But is it so? Do people feel the same way? So I thought on all these things, and when I was sure, yes, music is what I really want to do, and when I also figured out a way of supporting myself after leaving the job financially. At that point, I said, I don't want to work full time. I still work. Okay, I still work with companies, but I work for like 2 hours a day or maybe 4 hours a day, not beyond that.
I also found out that you started Baithak Foundation. Can you share the purpose of the Baithak Foundation and what is its objective and how can we be involved?
Sure. So when I was working in Pune, after I completed my engineering, I said, okay, let me work in a company. So I started working in this company, which said, okay, you can skip the office and all of that. And my wife, we were not married at that time. We were just friends at that time. She was teaching. Okay, so she would teach in community schools. So in every city, we have small communities, slums, and all these where we generally don't look. When the slums come, we put the windows up of the car. But she used to go there and teach the kids there. And I also liked, so I said, okay, whenever I have time, I will come with you. So many times I would skip my office a little bit and I would also go with her to these little communities where, kids like all of us, very bright kids, very energetic kids, they would come. She would teach them science, history, mathematics, and all those topics. And one day, what? We asked them a question. Tell us names of 3 classical musicians that you know. They can be either Hindustani, Dhrupad, Carnatic, whatever, 3 classical vocalists. And they couldn't tell even one name. So we are not blaming them, but we are not doing our job to take music to them. Yeah, this is what we realized. That, okay, we do music in big concert halls and, in amphitheaters and this and that. But what kind of music is played in communities? What music is played in slums? Yeah, we never look at all these things. So we said, okay, no one is doing it. Let's do it. So we started going to a community center on Saturday and Sunday. And we started teaching music. Now the kids were so fascinated. They were like, we want more of it. So then we said, okay, let us create a foundation so that other musicians can also join. They can also teach. They can also perform. And you also asked me about how you can be a part of it. So there are many ways in which you can be a part of this foundation. One way is that we work with many schools in Pune. So if you come anytime to Pune, let us know in advance. We can take you to schools and you can sing for the kids there. Would you like to do it?
Wow, that would actually be great. So maybe if I come to Pune, I'll let you know.
Please, if you are planning a trip, let us know in advance. We will arrange your concerts in the schools here.
Sure, of course. So that was very well said. And I actually love the way how you teach the community. I've actually observed that a lot of children start to learn Indian classical music, but after some time leave it. So how did you, you started Indian classical music and you also maintained it. So how did you maintain it?
Yeah. So if you see, I had also left it at a point. Yeah, when I said I stopped learning music when I was after my 8th standard. Now, what made me again pick it up? Yeah, see, it will happen with many people, that because of some reason, they will lose their contact with music. Studies is one reason. Liking might change. It might also happen, that, okay, till the age of 7, I liked classical music. After that, I stopped liking music. That is also possible. But what drew me back again into music, why I wanted to learn again is because when I learned it, I realized that it allows me to say something which I cannot say in words. Yeah. So very deep emotions or feelings, which I cannot share with anyone just like that, like you don't say, yeah, you know what, I'm feeling very, 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 very sad. People will laugh, they will say, oh, why are you telling this? So how will that sadness come out? It has to come out in some way. Or I might feel very cheerful at some point. How does it come out? So there are many languages. Okay, I won't say music is the only language. Someone can express it out through colors. Yeah, someone can express it out by creating a garden, by, flowers and anyway, someone through the pieces of paper and origami. So I realized that I can do it through music. You know one interesting thing. What is your mother tongue?
My mother tongue is Hindi only.
Hindi. My mother tongue is Marathi. But it's wrong when we say that our mother tongue or our first language is Hindi or Marathi. Our first language is sounds, right? Imagine 15,000, 20,000 years before, if we are talking, let us say 20,000 years before, how will I tell you that I am angry? Through sounds, right? Yeah, because anger is, the word also doesn't exist. The language also doesn't exist. So we communicate through sound. Yeah, and that's why if we teach everyone how they can use sound to express, they won't leave it in between. Even if they leave it, they will again pick it up after some time.
Yes, so that was very well said. And so I think I think I've observed this a lot too, that kids actually like Bollywood music rather than Indian classical music. So we cannot force them to go to Indian classical music. But what are your, how could you motivate them to start going towards Indian classical music?
Okay, so let us take example of food. If we go out in the market, there are so many shops. There is McDonald's, there is Domino's, there is this, there is that. There is home food also, which we cook at home. Yeah. What do we like the most? You know the answer, right? So see, we tend to like some things more. But after some time, when we do it a lot, when we eat that stuff a lot, we realize ki, no, this is not good. I cannot eat it every day. Maybe once a month or once in 2 months is okay, but not more than that. And then we start cooking at home, right? Or then we start eating at home. Now, same applies to music. Some things are very tasty. They look very attractive. You get them very fast. Yeah, why do people go to McDonald's on highway? Because you get a very fast delivery. You don't even have to get out of your car. You can just drive through and get it. Yeah, same happens with music. And after some time, we realize that what kind of music makes us happy really, what kind of music relaxes us. So all these things come in the picture slowly. Now, how do we make more people attracted to Indian classical music? Right? This is what you asked. In my opinion, we can just give them a good experience of Indian music. After that, what they want to do is up to, we cannot force anything. Yeah. Like for example, if there is a European person coming to your place, and if you force Indian food, no, don't eat pasta. You will have to eat roti and sabzi. Yeah. The poor fellow, he will run away. In same way, we have to understand that, people have some likings. What we can do is we can give them good options. Once they experience, they will feel like experiencing it again. And that's how they will get drawn towards it. So the simple answer is present them good music and automatically they will start coming towards it.
I heard that you are a speaker and sometimes you get anxious during your speech. So do you have some tips about how to confront the stage fear?
Yeah. Okay. So whatever I learned, from my little experience, I will try sharing that with you. See, when we go on stage, okay, like for example, I have to give a speech and I am going on the stage. What makes me afraid? Have you thought about it? What are the reasons? Yeah.
I get scared from my side. I get scared because there are a lot of people watching you. So I get scared.
Okay, but tell me, if you are going to do a fabulous job, the more people watch you, the better it is for you. Yeah. So actually, more people should give you more energy. Huh? Right? So what we have to do is, we just have to make sure that whatever we are going to do, it can be a musical performance, it can be a speech, it can be a presentation, it can be a demonstration, whatever it is, we have to make sure that we are giving our best. That's it. Yeah. See, even after doing that, there will be some people who won't like what you did. Some people will like it a lot. Some people will be untouched. Nothing will happen to them. I see, many people in concert, when I sing Kabir, they become very emotional, like because the words of Kabir are so powerful. But after the concert, they are again back to normal. So what happens to people? How people react? We cannot control that. What we can control is, am I doing my best? And if you're sure of that, then more people will actually give you more energy. What do you think?
Sir, I think this is very good, and I actually never thought about it. So if I'll have any concert or any concert, then I will try using this method. Just for fun, let's do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You have to pick one in these. So what will you choose? Rag Bhairav or Yaman?
I will choose Yaman.
Okay, Yaman. So let's do this fast. Okay, you have to give your answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Kirtan or Indian classical rag?
Kirtan.
Okay, Tabla or Dholak?
Tabla.
Cooking or gardening?
Cooking.
Talks on a big stage or singing your favorite bandage for Madhumita auntie and me?
Second option, anytime.
So, what will you choose? Kabir bhajan or Meera bhajan?
Kabir.
Sir, so it was really wonderful today, and thank you for what you are doing. Thanks again for spending your valuable time today. I will always remember today's session, and at this point, I also seek your blessings for myself. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best, not only for music, but for everything in your life.
How wonderful. Music does open you up to beauty, and thanks to this conversation, I'm so much more intrigued by its lyrical aspects. Don't we all want to explore more of Sant Kabir's works thanks to Mandar Ji's wonderful insights? This episode has inspired me in more ways than one, and I'm sure all of you too. And Sharanya was truly a fantastic interviewer. Don't you agree? She carried the conversation very wonderfully. Do like, share, follow, and subscribe to ShrotaHouse YouTube channel. Can't wait for the few more episodes of Little Khayal series Season 2 coming soon. I'm now going to listen to Mandar Ji's other musical renditions. So see you in the next
सगरे रे न पियाना ये सगरे रे न पियाना ये वो तो तोरे कारण जागे रे वो तो जन्म जन्म के बैरी हो तुम जन्म जन्म के बैरी हो तुम काहे जिया तरसाए वो तो तोरे कारण जागे वो तो तोरे कारण जागे कारण जागे कारण जागे